All right, guys, welcome back. We got our parts in, cam gears on, crank gears on. We've got the degree wheel installed. We're gonna video this so that you can use it for reference material or whatever. We're gonna show you how to properly degree a cam, or at least show you how we degree a cam. Maybe it is and maybe it's not the proper way, but we're gonna show you how we degree a cam. So with my trusty assistant, Jacob, we're gonna go ahead and get everything set up. So basically we've got our degree wheel set up. We've got our dial indicator sitting on the lifter. We're gonna get our piston stop situated. So right now we've got the cam and crank gears aligned dot to dot. We're gonna roll back a few degrees so that we can get the piston stop set up. And then we'll get that in place. And then we'll rotate that crank both ways, find our true top dead center.
Good. All right, y'all, so step one is getting the number one cylinder up to approximately TDC. The first step is finding your accurate top dead center of piston number one. So we've got it at approximate TDC. So what we're gonna do now is we're gonna take and we're gonna roll the crankshaft back about 15 degrees. So we'll do this counterclockwise. There's 10, 15. And now we're going to take our piston stop doing this out of order. This on first. And we're just going to screw this little grub screw in until it contacts the piston. We need some bolts.
Just needs to be snug, don't need to kill it.
All right, we got our piston stop on. We're at TDC approximately, flush with the deck. So now I'm going to take and rotate this crankshaft counterclockwise to about 15 degrees-ish. This number's not hugely important. It says anywhere from 15 to 20 degrees. And now I can take and set the screw to where it's just touching the piston. And don't crank down on it, there's no need to. Just go down till it touches. Make sure I'm not bottoming that out. There, we're touching the piston. I'm going to tighten this little nut, just finger tight for now. Alright, now I'm going to continue rotating counterclockwise until we come back up and hit the piston stop. And Mr. Locklear is going to be kind enough to write down my numbers for me.
Absolutely. I will be humbled by the experience.
We're getting close, so I'm going to slow down. We're on the piston stop there.
Okay, what you got?
We're at minus 17 degrees, so negative 17. All right, now all we got to do, we're going to rotate back clockwise until we hit our piston stop again, and then we find the midpoint between those two numbers, and that is your true top dead center read.
All right, Jacob. So readings you gave me were negative 17 degrees one way and positive 14 degrees the other way.
All right, so we got negative 17 and positive. All right, guys, future Jacob here from the editing room, and I actually made a little bit of a mistake here in how I did the math to find, to get our zero for our degree wheel. So what we measured were minus 17 degrees and positive 14 degrees, and what you have to do is find the difference between those two and find the midpoint. So the difference between those two numbers is 31. So you want to divide 31 by 2, and that'll get you 15.5. Add 15.5 to our minus 17, and that will get you to negative 1.5. You can also subtract the 15.5 from the positive 14, and that gets you the same number. It doesn't matter which way you do it, you just want to find the middle point between minus 17 and plus 14, and that gives you minus 1.5 degrees. So from there, you just turn your crank back to your degree wheel reads minus 1.5, and then adjust the degree wheel without turning the crankshaft to 0, and that's how you zero out your degree wheel at exactly top dead center. And also a big shout out to Tom Tucker who pointed this out for us. Let's back off our screw here. So now that we got our piston stop removed, we can turn our dial to -3 degrees. It'll help if I turned it the right way. So there's 0, 1, 2, and 3. And the last step of getting, are you good?
Yeah.
Okay, and the last step of setting up our wheel. It's really important, don't move the crankshaft while you do this. I'm just going to rotate, so I backed off this nut. I'm going to rotate this to where it's right on 0. Snug it up. Alright, now we got the degree wheel set up and we'll move on to the next step. Alright, so our next step, now that we got our degree wheel set at 0 at true top dead center, we're going to keep rotating clockwise and watch our dial indicator, and we want to look for maximum lift. So you can see the needle's going up. It's going to continue to go up until it slows. Still going. I think we're getting close. We're going to say that's, it looked to me about 77. So I'm actually going to go back a little bit. I'm going to go back clockwise until we're dead on 77. And now, I'm just going to take this, get it right on 0. Alright, so now we're dead on 0. Now, we're going to rotate the engine counterclockwise until we get one full rotation or 100 thousandths. And now we're going to go clockwise until it reads 50 thousandths and record what our degree wheel is at. I'm trying to be careful not to overshoot. Alright, we're at 50 thousandths. Our degree wheel reads 71 degrees. And now we're going to continue going clockwise. Alright, cut for a minute. Yeah, continue clockwise until it goes past 0 to 50 thousandths on the closing side. We'll continue rotating until we go past 0. So there's max lift. When it falls back to 50, we're going to check our degree wheel there. Just a little more. We're right at 50, and that is 151 degrees on the degree wheel. Alright, so the numbers we got were 71 and 151. So I'm just going to take my calculator at 71 plus 151, that's 222. Divided by 2 equals 111 degrees. That is our intake lobe center line, and that matches exactly what we have on our cam car. So we're good to go from here. We know everything was grounded correctly. We know our camshaft and our crankshaft are in time, so we can go ahead and move forward with engine assembly.
So Jacob, and let me throw in there that we don't want to advance this cam because Cam Motion has, when we reached out to them, let us know that they've already advanced the cam 5 degrees. So no need to advance it. For the folks back home, explain to them if they were replacing the cam in their engine why this is an important process instead of assuming everything is accurate because you line dots up.
I mean, that'll get you most of the way there, but you never take into account, I mean, what if the manufacturer does make an error? I mean, it's very, very rare, but it does happen. And not only that, I mean, every component of this engine that was machined, there's very fine tolerances in machining, but there are still tolerances nonetheless. And each part of that process, you get that small amount of air that's added and they compound on each other. And that could end up in your timing being off a few degrees. And even that's not the end of the world. Say if we measured and double checked, and we were 2 degrees off of our intake lobe center line. We have that crankshaft, our crankshaft gear. We can actually advance and retard the timing in 2 degree increments, I think, to get us back dead on to what the camshaft spec should be.
Awesome. All right, so guys, we're pretty much ready to go ahead and start buttoning this back up. We can get the head back on it and start getting the timing cover and the oil pan on. We're making some progress. Next step, fitting the supercharger. Stay tuned.